Greenwood Redevelopment Commission on this, the 9th day of July, 2024. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
Mr. Hopper.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Non-voting advisor, Mr. Zaborowski.
Here.
Thank you.
And everybody's live and in person. Is there a motion to approve our minutes from our June 11, 2024 meeting?
I'll motion.
Second. Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Hoover. Any discussion, comments, corrections, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, nay? Abstain. Minutes are approved 4-0 with 1 abstention. No new business, no old business, no capital project reports. Mr. Stone, do you have a monthly financial report for us?
Hello, I'm joining virtually. Can you hear me?
You can.
Awesome. Yeah, I just have a quick update. I believe in your packets, you should have received a schedule showing the various different tax increment finance revenue updates. Did that make its way into your packets?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Very good. So a couple updates through really June or the first half of 2024. The Redevelopment Commission at large received $9,272,403 in total incremental revenues. And I provided both an annual comparison by allocation area as well as a year-to-date version as well. So that is up about 28% on average over the last 4 years. And the largest tip area continues to be East Side, now followed by the Worstville Road and Central allocation areas. As far as a growth perspective, the airport, as far as percentage growth, the airport, Southwest, and the Worstville Road areas are some of the fastest growing as a percent of TIF collections year over year through the first 6 months. And we had a couple noteworthy items. We have a couple new allocation areas that did receive their first incremental revenues as well in June 2024, those being Emerson Point, which are the apartments off Emerson Avenue, Garrett built, the Combs Road, 5 Points area, Arlington Farms, the Denton Floyd project constructed just south of County Line Road. And then there was a adjustment for I-65 East, which is now the County Line and I-65 area. Those incremental revenues went to 0. They were previously $86 through the first 6 months last year, as that area has now been terminated and reestablished as the County Line and I-65 allocation area. Happy to take any questions. We're using these to make sure that we have good estimates for the rest of 2024 and beyond. These numbers will ultimately be used for the TIF appropriations later this fall, as well as the annual spend plan. That's a new requirement of the Redevelopment Commission this calendar year. So yeah, happy to take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Any questions for Adam? All right, hearing none. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you all.
Department reports. Anything from Mr. Hudson?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Watson?
Yes, what I have relates to the Federal Express annual report, which was provided, and they have provided a satisfactory, at least in my view, annual report. And I'll highlight a few things. This was tied to personal property investment, which ends up being approximately $151 million investment that they're reporting in the way of personal property. The assessed value for that for this 2023 reporting year was approximately $56 million. And they paid a little over $1 million in property taxes on that property. And through this past year, they have paid a total of $2.8 million in property taxes. And our project agreement incentivized them in this project by providing $564,000 in incentives. So I'd say that's a pretty good rate of return on that. And then as to employees and wages, they have reported that as of December 31, 2023, they have 184 full-time employees that were paid an average hourly wage of $29.08. And in addition to that, part-time employees amounting to 903 part-time employees who were paid an average of $19.60 during the 2023 reporting year. They also reported having merged with basically their parent company, Federal Express Corporation, and that merged company now is responsible for these contractual obligations. And that's all I have. And then, by the way, under the project agreement, they have a little bit of a different language in terms of their obligations on the annual report. And it basically says that if their report does not show any deficiencies or that sort of thing, that they do not have to make an annual report. So there's no finding that needs to be made or determination that needs to be made by the commission.
Thank you. Anything from the controller's office? So no. Mr. St. John.
Good afternoon, Mark St. John, City Engineer. I have one item on your agenda. It's listed as an amendment to a special services agreement with the railroad. It's actually just a whole new agreement. We previously presented this to you, I believe, at the May meeting. Unbeknownst to me at the time, City Legal had actually rewritten the agreement to be on city boilerplate, which the railroad was not a big fan of. So they asked us to keep it on the original agreement between them. We were able to add an addendum with several of the items that City Legal was worried about from our standpoint to kind of cover us, but everything else remains unchanged. And this will just replace that May agreement with this one. Is for Main Street segments 1 and 2. It's basically to allow the railroad to review our plans and make sure we're not doing anything to get in the way of the railroad or follow the railroad track or do anything stupid in construction that could be dangerous.
Any questions for Mark?
Is there a cost to this?
There is, we have to pay them for the privilege to review our plans. There's an estimate of $21,000.
Is there a motion to approve? Or accept or? So. Second by Mr. Harrison. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right, motion approved 5-0. Anything from the mayor's office? Is there a motion to approve our claims docket in the amount of $172,917.82? Motion by Mr. Hoover. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Campbell. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 5-0. Anything else from anybody in the room or on the internet for us today? Hearing none, we will stand adjourned.